Welcome to Slash Forward. In this episode, we're looking at Bluebeard, a movie that just barely made the cut because it contains a sufficient quantity of murder. If you're a fanatic of the craft of puppetry, subscribe to the channel for all the latest news. Let's get to it. We open under the bridge downtown, where a body is fished from the river. The town is then warned via sign to beware a woman-strangling maniac, which is referred to generically as a Bluebeard. The women folk then find themselves under lock and key for the safety of their delicate necks. This trio heads down the road and bumps into Gaston, the town puppeteer. They appreciate his masterful fingers and make a date for Lucille to come by and experience the erotic magic of marionette firsthand. The audience is entranced as he spins a yarn about the 7 circles of hell, and as a hired help does their part, Gaston takes the pleasure of peeping through a glory hole at the ladies' tight bodices, and sees Lucille is so enamored with the show that she nearly slides off her chair. After the show, they enjoy a chat wherein Gaston offers to paint her portrait, and also offers her a job making costumes for his next show. He then heads home to find jealous Renee, his prior muse, who still loves him but has been scorned by his constant flip-flopping. She's curious about how all his new entanglements seem to be showing up around town dead. Much like her now. He mostly does this so he has an excuse to use his sweet trapdoor with river access. He spends a little time the next day identifying the body and answering some routine questions. He then talks to his wingman about a new play he wants to put on, which means a new woman, and he sends him to fetch Lucille. They review some designs together and he struggles internally with resisting the desire to squeeze the life out of her. While there, she finds his damaged cravat and repairs it for him. We then learn Gaston is painting the women he murders and his business manager is selling them, which is a lucrative endeavor. Unfortunately, he sold the last one to a collector with a public exhibition space. When the painting is recognized to be a picture of one of the victims, the police attempt to discover more about the artist. They're eventually led back to the manager, who claims to get the art through a contact of unknown origin and who can't be traced. Seems legit. Back at Lucille's apartment, we get the 1944 equivalent of a shower scene, and I am titillated. Gaston comes calling and meets Lucille's sister, Francine's eyes. Francine later arrives at the inspector's office to discuss the Bluebeard matter and provide a profile of the artist as a young murderer. They show the picture around trying to find a witness, but the general questioning of the town's ding-dongs goes nowhere. So they hatch a plan wherein Francine's wealthy father seeks a commission of his daughter, desiring to have her rendered in the style of a particular painter. The price is too good to pass up, so he goes to convince Gaston to do it. Since it's enough to fund his show and help him find financial freedom, he decides to do this one last job at the risk of near certain capture. As the business transaction unfolds, the painting begins. Unable to pose properly, the master emerges to help her, revealing his identity. This gets Francine spooked, so he kills her. Now that she's dead, they have all the evidence they need, so her dad signals the police, but gets it with the candlestick before they arrive. Detecting a betrayal, Gaston pounces upon his manager, and is surprised to find that wrapping his fingers around a gentleman's throat is somehow more stimulating than his prior experiences. He then escapes in the mutual state of confusion. The method of his murder carries a degree of familiarity for Lucille. She goes to confront Gaston and finds he emerges from the shadows with an unstitched cravat, having left the one she mended at the crime scene. He fesses up but swears he only killed to feed his artistic inspiration, and that his love for her has cured him of his dark desires. But he also killed her sister, and so he finds no forgiveness. Devoid of redemption, he opts to render her unconscious, and then flees from the police, eventually falling into the icy water of the river, leaving us to presume that he drowned. While back at his apartment, we see the inspector straight chillin' with Lucille. Another one down, and it was one of the tougher ones of the bunch. It's interesting to see what passed as motivation for psychopathy before people had such ready access to so much true crime analysis. Apparently, serial murder is a romantic affair for creatives. If you enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to become a part of the channel by subscribing. Thanks for watching.